Last year, I graduated with a degree in politics and have yet to find a use for it. In possibly the most ill-fated decision on this channel, I've decided to use my newfound skills to tell you exactly how the characters from COD Modern Warfare voted and how they fit onto the political spectrum. This is just a bit of fun, so please don't send me death threats because I called Sergeant Newcastle a Tory. I mean, as soon as you meet him, he bangs on about his ex-wife, so you can't really argue.
It seems my ex-wife was kind enough to donate her car to furthering your education, so...
Conservative councillor and small business owner John MACTAVISH recently went viral on Twitter after he claimed that those on the furlough scheme were treating it as an extended holiday. Soap, a leading supplier of vinyl flooring in the East Lothian area, directed his anger at a Chris Whitty parody account, making excellent use of both the middle finger and crying with laughter emojis. Gaz, a prominent member of the Colchester United Ultras, has spent the past few weeks reading a number of pirated PDF e-books about the history and upkeep of civic statues. His sudden, seemingly innocent desire to know more about public monuments has ceased only fleetingly to naively accuse Andrew Neil and Julia Hartley-Brewer of being members of Antifa. His dedication has paid off, however, and just last week he managed to single-handedly stop a non-existent mob from throwing a statue of Ken Dodd into the River Mersey. No, I know what you're thinking, but Captain Price is actually a committed socialist. As a kid, his dad was good friends with Dennis Skinner, and he only became a soldier to escape poverty with a misguided sense of doing the right thing. Obviously, it's not the best environment for him, and you can be fairly sure the younger lads would rinse him for his humanitarian efforts. You can just imagine him now, walking into the firing range, tutting, and then walking out again as Soap and Gaz shoot cutouts of Jeremy Corbyn that they've printed out themselves using taxpayers' money. Usually one for staying under the radar and keeping to himself, Captain MACMILLAN gained notoriety in the aftermath of the 2014 independence referendum. Mobile phone footage captured from a multitude of angles depicted the former sharpshooter blind drunk, with his trousers round his ankles, singing songs about the IRA. Immediately sacked from his base plate command centre role, he was later rehired, this time as a private contractor, following a Back Our Pripyat Hero campaign from the Mail on Sunday. Following his retirement from international terrorism, Vladimir Makarov, FBPE, has undergone quite the transformation. After falling in love with and marrying a Lib Dem MP from South East London, Makarov has found success online, starring in a blog entitled Russian in the UK. Each week, he shares cute pictures of his twin boys Imran and Victor, shows readers how to cook traditional Russian cuisine, and outlines a multitude of desperate legal technicalities that attempt to prove that Britain never actually left the EU. Still, despite his cheery persona, you're never quite sure he's left his past behind, and you fear you might wake up to news of him leading a people's military coup and a people's attack on an international airport in order to stop Brexit. General Shepard was one of the earliest beneficiaries of the 2016 Trump election win. Quickly promoted to US Secretary of Defense, simply as he was the only general the president-elect recognised from Fox News, Shepard really made the most of his new role. He played golf most weekends with a number of foreign oligarchs, he stayed in a number of Trump hotels across the globe, and he even sold many of the Humvees from the Mission Team player to regional police forces at significant markups. However, the honeymoon was cut short when the pair fell out, arguing over who has the biggest stick, with the general releasing a tell-all memoir. Centrists hoped that this book would reveal a presidential secret so large impeachment would be guaranteed, but in reality it just said he has McDonald's 4 times a week or something. I don't know, I didn't really read it, I'm not into politics myself. The living definition of someone who doesn't care for government, Sergeant Foley is often found both at work and online, making sure everyone just gets along. He won't sign your petition, he won't share your fundraiser, and if you dare to write a political statement on the side of Honey Badger, then you can guarantee you'll be scrubbing it off without pay. Having said that, on election day, you can be fairly certain he'll opt for Wandering Hands Joe Biden, choosing to ignore his many allegations in favour of an easier life. Lieutenant VASQUEZ is probably the clearest cut case on this list. Everything about him just screams, build the wall. He could probably use his hulking body as a prototype. If you've ever seen those disgusting dads against daughters dating t-shirts, you know exactly the vibe I'm going for. I'd bet you a significant amount of money he's ruined his children's proms by making them take a photo with him holding a shotgun. I've saved this one until near the end, as I know how much we all love the downed female COBRA pilot, and I wouldn't want you leaving early. Our favourite dead rubber formed a crucial part of Tulsi Gabbard's bid for the Democratic nomination, frequently brought on stage as a celebrity endorsement. It turns out the pair of them served together in a fictional Middle Eastern country, and they're only too happy to play up this association for the cameras. Nevertheless, we haven't seen Gabbard mention the COBRA pilot since dropping out, leaving question marks as to how natural this friendship ever was. The new Captain Price doesn't have any political affiliations, mainly because long-term prisoners don't have the right to vote. And trust me, if you knew the contents of all that intel he's been leaving hidden on each level, you'd know he won't be let out anytime soon. So there we have it. We got through it together in one piece. If you enjoyed this, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, and if you fancy it, let me know of another franchise you'd like me to investigate. Now, I'm staying well away from the comments section. I'm sure it looks more like hell than the one I've just left.